Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. And I just wanted to touch a subject that I didn't think about before. Something that I wanted to talk about, but I just didn't pop into my mind as of yet until lately. My thoughts, my real personal, honest opinion about the use of pepper spray or pepper spray itself. In my opinion, they say that it's not lethal, that it doesn't cause any permanent damage and things like that. I never got pepper sprayed myself, by a cop or by someone, trying to defend themselves or nothing like that, or or fool around with it. I did buy a small little saber red pepper spray from a gun store at one point during around the time when I was felt paranoid, and I had it with me for about a year and a half. And every so often, I would practice with it just to spray against the wall, just to see if it's functioning well. And of course, there was a blowback. As soon as I pressed it, some wind blew in my direction, and a little bit got into this side, into my eye, and whatever. I just held it on for 2 seconds, and I stopped when as soon as it hit me. So I ran away from the area. I went to the bathroom and splashed cold water in my face and stuff like that. And it was just a little bit of it that went on my face, and it did burn like crazy. And I did cough like crazy. I had trouble breathing, and I have asthma. It took about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes for the burning to go away. I constantly had to use cold water and stuff like that, and that's just from an accidental blowback from the wind. Now, just imagine all over that person's face, their eyes, and this and that, going into their mouth. There is no way. I mean, I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't care what they say on Google or on whatever. I don't care. To me, they say that pepper spray is not lethal. That there's very few reported deaths. I believe that's bullshit. In my opinion, pepper spray is extremely lethal. Is extremely lethal. And if somebody who has asthma were to get sprayed by a police officer who took it too far, and I say I can't breathe and then he'll say something stupid, or if you can breathe, if you could talk, you can breathe, that kind of thing, or whatever the case may be. There is, if I were to get pepper sprayed, there is no way in hell that I would survive it. No way in hell I would be dead. And unless I got sprayed a little bit, but if it was excessive, I would die. And I think that anybody who has respiratory problems will die no matter what. They get sprayed, they breathe it in. If they don't get medical attention right away within 5-10 minutes, then they're not going to survive. They say it's not lethal, but it's bullshit. It is lethal for people who have respiratory problems. Now, for a person who has very good lung function, someone like an athlete or someone who's very healthy with their lungs and stuff like that, and they don't have any eye problems or surgeries or anything like that, then yeah, there's a chance that they won't die from it. I do believe that. But the thing about it is, in my opinion, I just think that it's not the case for a lot of people. a lot of people cannot handle that. A lot of people can come close to death. And I honestly think that pepper spray should be substituted for something else. I mean, come on. There's tranquilizer guns. When someone gets out of control, there should be like a little type of little mini gun you could just like zap in the center of that person's neck. Not a stun gun. I'm not talking about stun guns, but something that would tranquilize and then make that person get drowsy and they fall asleep. I mean, come on. They have the technology for. I'm pretty sure they have the technology for that. There is some other better ways, some non-lethal ways of doing things where you don't have to use that much aggression and no serious violence involved. No serious violence involved whatsoever. And again, I don't really give a shit. I don't really care what people say. Pepper spray, in my opinion, is extremely lethal and it can cause permanent damage. They say that it really can't, but it possibly could. So it kind of so the literature and the information does contradict itself. But it's my honest opinion that it is very lethal, and I honestly think it shouldn't be used at all. I don't have the power to do anything about it. I can only just give you my information about how I feel about it. So if any of you actually feel the same way, drop a comment. Any questions, just let me know. Hopefully I get a lot of people that would actually agree with me on that. I understand that police officers need to use it. I understand that some people need to use it to defend themselves. Like one guy, when I first bought my first little can of saber red pepper spray, he was telling me all the do's and don'ts, to test it out like once a week to make sure it's functioning. Make sure there's no wind blowing. Make sure you do it against a wall or a tree. And aside from the do's and don'ts, he was just giving me the basic instructions. And then the last thing he said to me was, when I was buying it, after I bought it, here you go. And hopefully you don't need to use it. Hopefully you don't need to spray somebody. Then I shook his hand, and then I left. I loved that guy's attitude and the way he just presented with, the whole thing. 2 years later, when I had to buy another one, because they say after a couple of years, it starts to deteriorate from the inside or whatever. I don't know if that's true, but I got myself a new one anyway. And I met some other guy in the same gun store. It was a different guy. I bought the same thing, and then he was going on and on about, this stuff will really fuck somebody up. You just go like this. If somebody fucks with you, whatever, if someone tries to harm you, just go like this. And he was like telling me all these different ways of hurting people. As if you really want to fuck them up, you gotta make sure you do this. You want to make sure you do that. Yeah, all this type of paranoid type of babbling, psychobabble. And I'm like this. You're looking at the product, when I was about to buy it, and I was like, yeah, thanks. And this guy's working in a gun store. And he's telling me how to actually fuck somebody up, how to cripple somebody for life, because punks and they deserve to be whatever this and that. They deserve to die or this kind of stuff like that. And I'm like thinking to myself, okay, hold on. How much is this? Is 18 something or whatever it costs, and I tried to cut him off and just try to get out of there as much as I can, as quick as I can. So he sold it to me, and then when I was about to leave, says, "Yeah, stay safe, man. There's a lot of crazy motherfuckers out there. Don't feel bad if whatever, because I'm like, and he was saying all this type of things like, make sure you hurt them bad, and make sure you do this and that. And this asshole works at a gun store. The first guy that sold it to me, I liked, but this second guy, he was a fucking psycho. Oh my god. So and that's another thing that scares me about that. Um, the misuse of it, and some people can use it to gain an advantage. Like if two people are fighting, the guy's girlfriend can use it just to gain an advantage, not because of self-defense. And I mean, I don't know. To me, I mean, if you used it and you used it against an attacker who tried to rape you, if there's women out there who used it successfully, you sprayed somebody who tried to attack you, and then it bought you time to run away or to get into your car and run away, and you managed to save your own life. Okay, fine. I applaud you for that. That's great. That guy deserved it for trying to hurt you. But it's just my opinion that something else should be used, like a tranquilizer gun that they could come up with. I don't believe in the use of pepper spray. In my honest opinion, I believe that pepper spray is extremely dangerous, lethal. It can cause permanent eye damage as well as lung damage, especially if that person has asthma. I don't care who says that's not true. I don't give a shit. I'm pretty sure it's true. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I'm just saying that it's actually true. I'm pretty sure there's other people out there who knows what it's like to get pepper sprayed and they can't breathe and they probably came close to death for all I know. I don't know. So drop a comment. Let me know. Give me your honest opinion because I think this is very, very important to talk about. So to all of you, this is Dare to Speak. Take care.